Every street hides a story. In the quiet countryside of Pendle, where rolling hills sink into mist and stone cottages crouch low against the wind, there is an old story that refuses to die. They still whisper about the Witch of Pendle Hill. The year was 1612. England was restless under the rule of King James I, a man deeply obsessed with witchcraft. He had even written a book about it, Demonology, describing how witches made pacts with the devil and walked among ordinary people unnoticed. Fear was already planted in the soil long before the accusations began, and in a small, crumbling cottage near Pendle Hill lived a woman named Alison Device. She was poor, she was feared, and she knew things. Villagers said she could heal livestock with herbs gathered under moonlight. Others claimed she muttered to herself in unknown languages. Children swore they saw her staring at the sky, unmoving, for hours at a time. But the moment everything changed was simple. One afternoon, Alison approached a traveling peddler on the road and asked for metal pins. He refused. Words were exchanged. Witnesses later said she muttered something under her breath. Moments after walking away, the peddler collapsed, paralyzed. The villagers didn't see coincidence. They saw proof. Alison was taken before a local magistrate. Under pressure, frightened and trembling, she confessed. But not just to cursing the peddler, she named others. Her own grandmother. What followed became one of the most famous witch trials in English history, the Pendle witch trials. 12 people were accused, 10 were executed. They were marched to Lancaster Castle in chains, through muddy roads lined with silent onlookers. Some prayed, some cried, some insisted they were innocent until the end. But this is where the legend begins to twist. Because one of the accused, a woman named Elizabeth Southerns, known as Old Demdike, was said to be nearly blind and over 80 years old, frail, starving, barely able to walk. Yet witnesses claimed she could summon a familiar spirit in the form of a brown dog. They said the dog would appear when she whispered, and disappear when she blinked. She died in prison before the trial could finish. But villagers swore that after her death, strange things began happening around Pendle Hill. Livestock were found drained of blood, and sometimes, when the fog rolled in, thick and heavy, a shadow of a woman could be seen standing on the hillside, watching. The executions took place on August 20th, 1612. They were hanged in public, bodies swaying against the gray English sky, and the story should have ended there. But for over 4 centuries, the legend refused to stay buried. In the 1800s, travelers passing through Pendle reported hearing soft chanting carried by the wind. In the early 1900s, a farmer claimed his daughter began speaking in a voice that wasn't her own after wandering near the old execution grounds. Then came the most unsettling account. In 1950,